All right, listener, ready for a deep dive?
Always ready.
Today, we're looking at Chapter 9 of the Lingbao Essential Teachings.
Ah.
The Daoist text you sent our way.
This one's packed with...
It's a fascinating one, that's for sure. Internal observation and exchange.
That's it.
That's what we're exploring today.
Internal alchemy.
Exactly. And the whole quest for, spiritual transcendence.
It jumps right into the practical stuff,
It really does.
It doesn't just talk about the concepts. It gives you guidance, like how to actually do it.
I love that about it. So we start off right at the beginning.
Right to the nature of the Tao.
Yeah, the nature of the Tao. It quotes the Golden Edict.
Oh,
reminding us, that the Tao is formless, boundless, ultimately beyond our grasp. But then it makes this interesting turn.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
It suggests that to understand it, we have to observe its form and function.
Okay.
Gives us a framework.
Absolutely, a framework.
For perception. And that is really the foundation of internal observation and exchange.
So instead of trying to define the Tao directly, we learn by observing how it shows up, how it manifests in the world and within ourselves.
Precisely. And then it goes on to emphasize observing the inner to illuminate the outer.
Okay.
And observing the spirit to reveal the form.
So we're talking about real deep inner awareness here.
That's the core of it. The core of internal observation and exchange.
Now, the chapter also delves into the union of heart and chi.
Yes.
This is where those true source teachings come in.
The true source teachings.
Talking about using one heart to observe all things.
Right.
And stirring all things with one chi.
Powerful stuff. Imagine that, cultivating that kind of connection between your ki and your heart, that the outside world, all those anxieties and desires, they don't have power over you anymore.
It's like this inner resilience. Right?
That's what this practice aims to develop.
That's a powerful image. It makes me wonder, what does it actually look like to achieve this union of heart and chi?
It says that when your ki returns to your heart, you're less influenced, by all the distractions out there.
Right, less swayed by the external.
And when your heart directs your chi, you're not bound by external methods or techniques.
Okay.
It's almost like this perfect harmony.
Oh, interesting.
Between inner stillness and outer action.
So how do we get there? I mean,
right.
Is it about finding a balance?
It seems to be about cultivating both clarity and strength.
Okay.
A clear heart, it says, can shatter illusions. And firm ki allows us to transcend all those rigid methods.
So we're talking about transcending limitations.
Ultimately, it's about guiding us back to our original unconditioned state.
It's a lot to take in.
It is.
It's almost like trying to grasp
something that's inherently elusive.
Exactly.
And maybe that's why it gives us these metaphors.
Right, because...
it states that form arises from imagery.
Okay.
Names from form. And from names, we get numbers and principles.
Yeah.
But it reminds us, that the highest Tao goes beyond all these analogies.
It reminds me of that saying, the Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao.
Exactly.
Like all these concepts... They can only point us towards it, but they can never fully capture it.
Right. And then there's this beautiful analogy of human cultivation aligning with natural cycles.
Okay.
This idea highlights gradual progress.
So it's not about forcing things.
It embodies wu wei, that principle of non-action.
Right. Effortless action.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where your actions are in harmony with the natural order of things.
So aligning ourselves with the natural flow.
Leading to a sense of effortless ease and effectiveness.
I like that. Effortless ease.
But, the chapter doesn't stop at metaphors.
It doesn't.
It goes on to give us the true formula.
This is where it gets really intriguing.
A set of practical instructions.
It mentions this method being similar to visualization and meditative absorption.
Yeah, I'm curious about these instructions too.
Me too.
It's fascinating how specific they are.
Yeah.
It talks about gently rising with your chi before noon to activate your internal fire.
Okay.
And then gently contracting after noon to consolidate that fire.
Burning with chi before noon, consolidating the fire after noon.
It's like an internal dance.
It really is. But what about those moments when, our minds wander?
Oh, yeah.
Distractions pop up.
Like when you're trying to meditate and suddenly you're thinking about what's for dinner.
Exactly.
The text acknowledges those distractions. It states that sounds and visions can arise during practice.
Okay.
And it warns us that if we engage with them, they can become demonic obstacles.
Demonic obstacles, that's a powerful image. What exactly constitutes a demonic obstacle in this context?
It's not about literal demons. It's more like the distractions and attachments that can hinder our spiritual progress.
So not literal demons.
Wow.
But those things that sort of pull us off the path.
Think of it like this. You're cultivating this pure inner fire.
Yeah.
But if you let your attention get pulled away by every thought, every sensation, that fire loses its intensity.
Right.
It loses its ability to transform.
So maintaining that focus.
Keeping that fire burning brightly.
Yeah, yeah. But the text also mentions a specific technique for dealing with these obstacles, right?
Right.
Something about contracting the body and stretching the waist.
Exactly.
Okay.
It outlines this practice involving physical postures, contracting the body, stretching the waist, tilting the chest forward.
Okay.
All designed to stoke that internal fire and purify the system.
So it's a very physical process, too, in a way.
It's like you're burning away impurities.
Yeah.
Refining your being through this intense inner heat.
It's a pretty vivid image.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it says that once the fire subsides, you might experience these vivid visions.
Oh, interesting.
Chariots, celestial dancers, even heavenly music.
It sounds almost,
enticing.
It does.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The text cautions us against becoming attached to these visions.
So even these blissful visions can be traps.
They can.
Isn't that a bit paradoxical?
A little bit.
Given the emphasis on achieving joy through practice?
It is a paradox.
Yeah.
But it seems to be warning us against mistaking any experience, however pleasant, for the ultimate goal.
So we have to be careful not to get sidetracked.
Right.
Even by things that seem, positive or beautiful.
Exactly.
We have to keep our eyes on the prize.
On the real prize.
This internal observation and exchange. But what does that actually entail?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And the text offers more hints than clear-cut answers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But it does emphasize renouncing external attachments, embracing solitude and austerity.
Yeah.
Whether we're talking about literal solitude in the wilderness, or finding that inner stillness in the busyness of life, it's about creating space for genuine inner transformation.
So a real shift in perspective is required.
It seems so.
From seeking fulfillment in external things to finding contentment within.
It's a big shift.
It is. But the text also mentions the 3 celestial islands.
Yes.
And how even becoming an earthbound immortal is considered a loss in this context.
Right.
What's that all about?
You see, the goal isn't just to live a long life.
Oh.
The earthbound immortal, while powerful,
is
still tethered to the earthly realm.
Still bound to the physical.
True transcendence.
Yeah.
Returning to those 3 celestial islands.
Okay.
That represents complete liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
It's about breaking free.
That's the ultimate aim of internal observation and exchange.
From those fundamental limitations.
Precisely. And the text makes it clear that this requires us to transcend all limitations.
Okay.
Even if it seems impossibly difficult.
Right. It's like pushing beyond those boundaries.
It reminds me of the last piece of guidance in this chapter.
Okay.
A quote from the Tao Essentials. It says, "Only through simplifying and transcending all methods can one approach the ultimate truth."
It's almost like after all these detailed instructions, the text is saying, okay, now forget everything I just told you.
It's not about discarding the tools, but recognizing that they are just that, tools.
Okay.
The ultimate goal isn't mastering a technique.
Yeah.
It's reaching a state of being that transcends technique.
So how do we even begin to approach that?
That is the challenge, isn't it?
It is.
It's an invitation to examine our own lives. To ask ourselves, what are the methods, the beliefs, the attachments that might be holding us back?
Holding us back from experiencing that ultimate truth.
Exactly.
It makes me think about all the things we cling to.
It really does.
The stories we tell ourselves. The ways we try to control our experience.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily about renouncing everything.
Okay.
It's about developing a discerning eye. A willingness to let go of what no longer serves us.
So we can open ourselves to those new possibilities.
To new possibilities.
It feels like a constant process of refining.
It is.
Shedding old layers, stepping more fully into our true nature.
That's a good way to put it.
This deep dive has certainly given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It really does feel like a lifelong journey.
It is.
This process of internal observation and exchange,
yeah.
It's not a destination, it's an ongoing exploration.
It's a journey we each undertake in our own way, you know.
Right.
What resonates with one person might not resonate with another.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
The key is finding those practices, those insights that spark something within you.
Yeah.
That help you move closer to that state of clarity and liberation.
It reminds me of that image the text used, aligning ourselves with the natural cycle. Just like nature's constantly changing, evolving, so too are we.
There's no fixed endpoint.
Right, there isn't.
Just this continuous process of growth and transformation.
I like that, embracing the journey.
That's where the true beauty lies, I think.
Yeah.
In embracing the journey itself. With all the twists and turns, the challenges and triumphs.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating that inner awareness.
Right.
That connection to our true nature.
And letting that be our guide.
And letting that guide us.
Yeah. This whole deep dive has been so eye-opening.
It has.
It's given me a lot to reflect on.
Me too.
I'm especially drawn to this idea of simplifying and transcending methods.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes letting go is the key to moving forward.
It's not always easy.
It's not, no.
We can get so attached.
We do.
To our routines, our beliefs.
The way you see the world.
Our ways of seeing the world.
Yeah.
But the text seems to be suggesting that true freedom lies in our willingness to question everything. To let go of what no longer serves us.
Yeah.
And to step into the unknown.
Right.
With an open heart and mind.
This has been an incredible exploration of internal observation and exchange, listener.
It has.
We've covered so much ground. From the paradoxical nature of the Tao. To those practical techniques for cultivating inner transformation. And I think what resonates most deeply for me is this emphasis on the ongoing journey of self-discovery.
It's not about reaching some distant goal.
Right.
It's about cultivating that inner awareness, that connection to our true nature.
Yeah.
Each and every day.
Every day.
And who knows what we might discover along the way.
That's a beautiful thought to leave us with.
It is.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Lingbao Essential Teachings.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it as enriching and insightful as we did.
We hope so.
And remember, the journey continues long after this episode ends.
Yeah, it does.
Keep exploring, keep questioning.
Keep cultivating that inner awareness.
You never know what incredible insights await you.
You never know.